Hi!
Hello, and welcome to the Daily Almanac for August 15th. So, let's get started.
This day in history!
On this day in history, August 15th, 1877, Thomas Edison invented the telephone greeting, hello. He suggested the use of hello to answer the phone instead of ahoy, ahoy, which was suggested by Alexander Graham Bell. On this day in 1860, First Lady Florence Harding, the wife of President Warren Harding, was born. She was a big supporter of women getting the right to vote. Mrs. Harding cast her ballot in the presidential election of 1920 for her husband. She was the first American First Lady to do so, as the 19th Amendment had been ratified the previous summer. On this day in 2006, Voyager 1 reached about 9,300 million miles, or 15,000 million kilometers from the sun. That was the farthest any man-made object had gone. It still sends back information from space. The spacecraft had been launched nearly 30 years early.
Word Power!
Today on Word Power, we're going to talk about the word tournament. A tournament is a competition between teams or individuals that is made up by a series of games or contests. Back in the Middle Ages, knights competed with one another, showing their bravery and skill by trying to knock the other off his horse with a long lance or pole. This sport was called jousting. The knights would ride their horses away from one another and then turn around and race towards one another. The word tournament comes from the French word tournière, which means to turn, which refers to the knights turning their horses in the jousting match.
Ooh, extremes.
Today on Extremes, we ask, what is the largest moth on the planet? The answer is the Atlas moth, which has a wingspan of 1 foot or 30 centimeters. They are so huge that sometimes people mistake them for birds. Atlas moths only live 4 days because they don't have a mouth and they can't eat. The cocoons of these giant moths are used as pocketbooks in Taiwan, and in India, they're turned into a kind of silk.
Health tips.
Every single year, oven and drain cleaners, detergents, ammonia, bleaches, polishes, and other common household cleaning products cause thousands and thousands of eye injuries that are so serious that they require emergency room treatment. So what does this fact teach us? That household chemicals and cleaners are dangerous and should never be handled by children. In the Black Hills of South Dakota stands the National Memorial Mount Rushmore. It was designed to celebrate the growth of the country and its great leaders. This magnificent rock carving shows the faces of 4 great U.S. presidents. Each face stands 60 feet high, or 18.3 meters. The presidents are George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, and Abraham Lincoln. The head of Washington was completed first, followed by Jefferson, Lincoln, and finally Roosevelt. A similar memorial honoring Crazy Horse, the Oglala Sioux Chief, is located nearby. Well, that's all the time we have left today for Daily Almanac. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope to see you tomorrow.